Welcome back to another episode of the War Room Podcast. This is your host, Big E, and the other host is T-Cop. How you doing, T-Cop?
Big E, what's up?
Ain't nothing, man. We get the chance to talk about this weekend's games, and I actually was in attendance of the Rams and 49ers game out in L.A., so I'll get a chance to talk about that today, so that was cool. But before we move forward, let's talk about Bet Online. They would like to wish you a happy new betting year as we continue our march to the playoffs and beyond. BetOnline remains the number one spot for all bet sports wagering action for 2022. The new year and a new updated desktop and mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's BLEAV to get started. From basketball, football, hockey, boxing, UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all of the amazing offers available for 2022. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all of your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. So get out there, win you some money, people. So T-Cop.
Man.
We had some solid football games. We had extra football this week. We had some overtime games.
We did.
We had scenarios down there in Vegas where if they would have took the tie, they would have got in. But if they win, then the Steelers get in, and it forces us to see Big Ben play another weekend.
Yep.
But it is what it is, though, So, but it had some interesting games, So we're gonna start this thing off with the Kansas City Chiefs, and they played the Denver Broncos, and the Chiefs won 28-24. What do you think about that game, brother?
I think the Chiefs are. I'm not gonna say they're the Chiefs of old. I'm not gonna say that. I know we talk about that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They're not the Chiefs of old, but I don't know, Big E. I don't know about the Chiefs now going into the playoffs. Of course, teams are going to be a lot different than they are when it comes to the playoffs,
right?
Because the way they scheming things, the way, especially defensively, they're going to take away whatever you do best through the regular season. Mm-hmm. That team is going to try their best to take that away from you and make you one-dimensional and make you beat them another type of way.
True.
So I don't know what the Chiefs are going to do when it comes to the playoffs time. Who they play? The
Chiefs have the Steelers.
They have the Steelers. I think that's a good matchup for the Chiefs because the Steelers defense suck.
But it puts the way the Chiefs have been playing, and just going off this past game, mm-hmm. They still threw the ball 44 times.
Yeah,
which is very weird to see in the recent future that starters playing in this game, especially speaking of the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. At the recent history, they've been kind of so good that they could sit some guys and not have to play everybody. But Mahomes was 27 for 44 for 270, 2 touchdowns. He protected the ball. The one thing that makes me nervous about them is that he also was their leading rusher.
Yeah.
So it makes you say, are they balanced? Can you stop them one way? I'm pretty sure his rushes were scrambles, which he knows when to do it at the right time for sure. But unless protection has been an issue, the running game hasn't been there. They ran the ball with 4 other people.
They struggled this week running the ball against Denver.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't really see why they should. But then again, you got to give hats off to Denver for competing, and they were playing for pretty much nothing. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure, did they fire their coach?
They fired him and the GM.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They fired their coach. So they're looking, and I feel like they asked for permission to speak to an interview.
Eric Bieniemy.
Well, Eric Bieniemy as well as Dallas Cowboys offensive coordinator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they also talking about reaching out to him too. So we'll see, but I'm pretty sure you're rooting for Eric Bieniemy to get an opportunity, right?
I want him to get an opportunity when he's ready. Of course, we feel like he's ready. He's going to put his time in. He's been behind a great coach, Andy Reid, and learning how to do things. He deserves a head coaching job, but only when he's ready. I don't want nobody to throw him out there and he's not ready yet, and it looks terrible on him.
I'd rather him stay where he's at and then wait Andy Reid out.
And then just slide right
into what he's comfortable with. That's going to make the job so much easier. Taking your first, and you already know everybody that's there. Obviously, they're going to have the draft and free agents and all those things happening, but the lay of the land.
It all depends on how long Andy Reid trying to stay.
He can't stay but so much longer, right?
Shucks,
as long as he keep a Bieniemy with him, he pretty much good, huh?
Yeah. So if I'm gonna do that, Coach Bieniemy, he got to ask for a pay raise.
It's pretty much warranted, I believe.
Yeah, you got to give him a pay raise. If I'm not going to take the head coaching job somewhere else, and I'm going to stay here and run your offense and make sure things are where they need to be, I got to get a pay raise.
They have to. So, during the breakdown of that game, the Chiefs had 28 first downs to 18 by the Broncos. They were 8 for 14 on third down efficiency, which is kind of one of the better ones we've mentioned all year. They had 0 turnovers. And time of possession was 33 minutes to 26 minutes. So they did everything they were supposed to do to win that game. And ultimately they did. I mean, they ran a total plays of 74 to Denver's 54. So they outlasted them. And obviously you're going to have to be willing to do that in the playoffs when you start matching up with teams. And even though I pick on Big Ben with the Steelers so much, but let's be real. He knows how to win games.
Yep.
And he's going to fight all the way to the end. And the players are going to be motivated to not make that his last game.
Exactly.
So it's going to be a toss-up on that game. As much as you want to just say Kansas City wins, I struggle with it because they are playing the Steelers.
I get what you're saying, just kind of tossing out the saying Kansas City win. It's not a for sure Kansas City win, but I think Kansas City is still a better team because
for sure
defensively, the Chiefs, not the Chiefs, but the Steelers, they struggling, man. I just don't know if Big Ben have the firepower to outscore Chiefs team if they're clicking on all cylinders. That's why I'm glad that the Chiefs played their starters. They kind of continue to get that continuity and continue to kind of build their offense and get their offense clicking. So I was fine with them playing their starters.
Yeah, me too. So moving on to my Dallas Cowboys. They played the Eagles, which is always a rivalry game. And let's just speak on the fact that the Dallas Cowboys swept every team in their division. Well, in the NFC East.
Hats off to the Dallas Cowboys because that's hard to do. That's not easy to do. But this game right here, I mean, they won 56-21. I mean,
51-26.
51-26. I understand that. But the jury's still out on Dallas, man. And early, I feel like Dallas going to the Super Bowl.
You know, and Dallas will make you, they do that to you.
Yeah.
That they do it. I mean, I've been a fan for years that, hey, you feeling good? And it's just like, you know what? Ain't no way.
Yeah.
There's no way we're going to make it. But Dak went 21 for 27, 295 and 5 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me happy.
And if you look at the teams that's in the playoffs, in the NFC and the AFC, just look at both sides of it.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a Cowboy fan, let's speak in general because the Cowboys and the Eagles are going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
If you're any fan up here that's going to the playoffs, I don't care if you're a Bengal fan, Patriot fan, Bills fan, 49ers, it don't matter. If you're any fan team that's going to the playoffs, does any team really scare you?
Green Bay is the only one.
Green Bay, and they just got beat. I don't know if they played their starters.
They did. Well, they did a little
You know,
while.
so I mean, you don't know. You hate you.
There's no standalone team whatsoever.
And you hate for a team to go into the playoffs with a loss. The last game they played was a loss. And you played your starters if they played their starters. I don't know if they played their starters, but to lose to the Lions, the last game of the season before going into the playoffs, I don't care if you got a bye week or not.
I don't care what you got, right?
That's a bad taste in your mouth.
Which the Packers did get they got the bye. They have the bye. But you know, but speaking back on the Dallas Eagles game, obviously Ezekiel Elliott had one of his better days this week. 18 carries for 87 yards.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's one of his better games,
Yeah.
right? It's insane. I don't get it, but hey, we can't knock him. I mean, get your money, dude. He rushed for right at 1,000 yards, averaging 4.2, and he had 10 touchdowns. So it's not a bad season.
It's not a bad season.
It's not a bad season. It's just not for his check.
Is it a bad season if it was 16 games? Now take 87 yards away. He's not a 1,000-yard rusher.
He's not a 1,000-yard rusher.
How many touchdowns did he have that game?
Zeke had 0 touchdowns.
Okay,
so
he
that's
still
the
had
same.
10. Yeah, but he's not a 1,000-yard rusher.
You're right.
Yeah.
Didn't even think about that. You know, but again, Wilson, which is the up-and-coming receiver for them, he had 119 yards receiving on 5 catches. Cooper had 5 for 79. CeeDee Lamb 2 for 45. You know, they lost Gallup last week with the knee injury. So going into the playoffs, the receiving core is still solid for the most part.
Wilson's been balling all year.
All year because Gallup has been out.
Yep.
So he just literally is just like, now he gets to take that mental thing off if I'm going to play or not. Yeah, you're playing, buddy.
Yep.
You ain't got no choice now. Now, former Pirate Gardner Minshew was quarterbacking for the Eagles. You know, so we always try to root for our former Pirates. But he was 19 for 33, 186, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Didn't have a great day, obviously, but they were competitive at not the beginning of the game. They were competitive in certain areas of the game, but they really couldn't put it together all the way to outlast. I mean, Dallas scoring 21 points in the fourth quarter is an excellent way to go into the playoffs.
That's true.
That's an excellent way to go into the playoffs.